Hey, what's happening to you guys? Extreme Sonic here and welcome back to another video. Today we got some new Absolver information to digest and to look into. This one comes in the form of an FAQ, so it may not be something that most of us were looking forward to, but it is something because it does answer some of the most burning questions that we all have for this game. So before I go on, I just want to give a quick shout out to FTE Oxidize, who is pretty much a moderator for the Absolver Reddit. He kind of collabed with Slowclap and was able to ask Slowclap some of the questions that we have and provided to us in an FAQ format. So big shout out to him because he helped us answer some questions. Some questions were actually already answered, that we knew this already, but there were some other questions that was actually very interesting, so I wanted to kind of make a video on it and just talk about it in general. If you want to go to the actual FAQ list yourself, I'll put the link in the description below, so you just go there and have a look through it. I'm just here to discuss them and see what I think about them. So without further ado, let's get into the questions. So the first question is pretty much, when is the estimated release date? And the simple answer to that is that Absolver will launch on PC and PS4 in 2017. The release date will be announced very soon, so we don't even know what very soon could be. Very soon could be 2 weeks from now, 2 months from now, we don't know that, but at least it's very soon. The next question is, how much will the game cost on release? And we'll announce, the answer to that is, we'll announce the pricing a little bit later down the road. So I'm assuming the game will be maybe $29.99 at the very least. The most that they could probably charge us for this game is probably $49.99. It's between those price range, I believe anyways. I feel like they could maybe go in between $39.99 maybe, but I feel like some indie games come out with a price range of $29.99 and some of them come out with $49.99, and the pricing is key because it will kind of show whether this game will succeed or fail on launch, so they'll have to be careful with that. The next question is the game already available for pre-order? And the answer is no. Beware of scam websites. I feel like most of us are pretty much capable of telling which is fake and which is real, and I'm pretty sure most of us, if not all of us, are going to be picking up this game maybe from Steam. So I don't see you getting it anywhere else, maybe from Greenman Gaming or other sources, but other legal sources, by the way. Anyways, next question is, I did not receive my beta confirmation email. Why? With a sad smile face, or is it front face? I don't know. Anyways, the answer to that is that we are currently working on a software managing the emails. We'll get back to you on this ASAP. We apologize for the trouble. So basically, they don't have an automated system to let you know that you've successfully applied for the public beta for Absolver. So I'm pretty sure that if you've applied through their website, you're probably in, but they don't have a system to let you know that you're in. So basic stuff. So next question is, will you do a soft or hard release? Now the answer to that is hard release. You'll get a brand new character when the game is out for everybody. The game will ship at the same time on PC and PS4 in digital format, so that's pretty awesome. So I think that question pretty much just means that even if you play the beta release, you'll probably lose your character when the game finally comes out. So everyone starts out fresh and everyone starts out at the same time on PC and PS4. Xbox One will have to come out a little bit later on, and I did actually address this in the later question, so I'll save that for down the line. So next question is, will there be prestige items to show skill and level? And the answer is yes, there will be some prestige items unlocked at high levels. So obviously you get your fancy outfit, your fancy mask, your fancy weapon, just to show off, to let people know that you've actually put time in this game. Like, you don't want to be wearing the same outfit that you wore back in level 1. You wanna step up, you wanna glow up a little bit. So that's something that I kind of expected them to have, so that's pretty cool. Now the next question is actually something that I really liked, and that is will there be microtransactions? And the answer to that is no. We don't intend to do any sort of microtransaction at this stage. Now I don't know. They said that they don't have any plans for microtransactions at this stage, which means that later on down the game's life cycle, they could decide to maybe, you know, offer microtransactions in terms of cosmetic stuff, such as, you know, outfits, masks, shoes, whatever. Because, you know, Absolver has a lot of customization options, so there's a huge opportunity for them to just make outfits that you can buy from the store, the, you know, in-game store. But they'll have to be careful with that, because they don't want to make people feel like, oh, I've grinded 20, maybe 200 hours for this outfit, and someone can just buy something else that looks 10 times cooler than what I've actually grinded for. So they'll have to be careful with that. Next question is, will there be DLC? And the answer to that is, we intend to update the game after the initial release, so a number of free DLC are already planned. So they have DLC in works, but it's going to be free, which is pretty awesome. Will there be founders? The answer to that is, there will be a bonus for those who pre-order the game. So I'm assuming it's just going to be maybe, you know, a few items, a few healing potions, maybe 2 times XP boost, something in the lines. It's something that they usually give out for people who always pre-order the games before and the game comes out. I don't know, maybe they could even give out a special outfit to say, you know, early adopters, something like that. I don't know. The next question is there a ranking system? And the answer to that is, there should be a basic ranking system at release, which we plan on developing further after launch. So there will be a ranking system to show, you know, best fighter, best, you know, best combo user, best dodger, something like that. I don't know, like some people who win most, you know, a lot of matches. I don't know, I'm just speculating here. How will the multiplayer work? Now, they said that in their answer that there are 2 components for the multiplayer: a seamless matchmaking in the world and a traditional matchmaking for the game. So obviously we know that the seamless matchmaking will be integrated with the story, the single player. So obviously when you're running around doing your shit, someone's gonna run up to you and pull up. So that's what the seamless matchmaking is going to be. And obviously the traditional one is, obviously you queue up for a multiplayer match of 1v1, 2v2 or 3v3, whatever the case may be, and that's your basic one. Now you're also able to send invites to your friends to play with them. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but I was pretty sure that at the early stages of this game's announcement, we were told that we wouldn't be able to send invites to friends so that we can play together and stuff like that. Maybe that kind of has changed from that point on. So now we can actually invite friends. You know, we can squad up, we can run down the street, pull up on people. You know, it'd be pretty dope. It's cool now that they're kind of integrating that now in the game. Next question is that, what will you do to avoid the PvP becoming stale? Now the answer to that is, we plan on updating the game regularly. New attacks, combat style, weapons, game modes and tournaments are to be expected. Now this is pretty dope to hear, because, you know, no matter what you do with a game, it will always become stale at some point of its life cycle, no matter what you do. So at least what you want to do is try to extend it as much as possible. So as long as they do, you know, tournaments, adding new weapons, new costumes, you know, something to keep you coming back, you know, this game could last pretty well. Now are there plans to add 200 weapons such as spears and staves? Now I've actually gotten this question on some of my videos before, and the answer to that is yes. You can expect 200 weapons in post-launch updates. I feel like, yeah, you know, I kind of expected there to be 200 weapons myself, because obviously one of the most traditional 200 weapons is a bow, and, you know, people like to use those type of weapons as well. So at least we got the confirmation you'll be able to use your spear, your staves, your bow, all that good shit will be available in the game. Will there be dedicated servers? We have, the answer to that actually is, we have put a lot of efforts in ensuring that the online experience is as seamless and fair as possible. We think that our online architecture is now really solid. That doesn't really answer the question, because We don't know if this game is going to be peer-to-peer. We don't know if it's going to be a game with a dedicated server, because you don't want a peer-to-peer kind of connection, because it relies on the person's internet connection, and sometimes you can find someone who's super ass laggy, or maybe you might be blessed and find someone who actually has a superior internet connection. But we want a dedicated server, and this question doesn't really answer it. It tells us that they have an online architecture that's really solid, but it doesn't really tell us if it's fucking a dedicated server. I don't know, maybe that's me interpreting it some weird way, but as far as I'm concerned, I don't see it saying that they have a dedicated servers, and I'm really kind of treading the fact that they might be doing a peer-to-peer system. I don't know. The next question is that, what is the post-release plan? And simple answer: free updates, holidays. So I'm assuming maybe St. Patrick's Day, Christmas, Easter, Halloween, summertime. I don't know, like holidays times. Like they'll release updates to keep you occupied, to keep you interested, to keep you coming back. So yeah. Next question is initial price, DLC roadmap, DLC prices, and season pass. That's the question. That's how the question was formatted. So the answer to that is most DLCs will be free, and we don't intend to do a season pass. So I'm kind of glad to hear that the DLCs will be free. I know a lot of people, they tend to actually want to buy their DLC because it's their way of supporting the game, and with them supporting the game, in return you'll get quality premium content, because sometimes when you get free updates, it doesn't really stand up, it doesn't really be as awesome as you want it to be. So most people will be happy with the free DLC, but I know there are some people out there who kind of want to support the game as best as possible in order to receive the best premium content available from the developers. So yeah, and they're not doing season pass either, which is pretty interesting. Me personally, I like getting season passes if I know that the content that I will be receiving is worth the season pass, and it's easier for me just to know that I've paid, let's say, 20 euros for a season pass. I'm getting 5 content in the span of 6 months or something like that, and I know that it's always going to be available for me. So I don't know, it's pretty interesting. You guys will have to let me know what you guys think about this part. Yeah, let's move on. So will there be a gang clan system? I like how he says gang clan system. If so, will there be some clans dojo? Now, they didn't really answer the question with a yes or no. What they did was they just told us that there's going to be a student mentor system that will allow players to create and join a school of combat. So yeah, we know this. We know this already. So I guess there won't be a clan system. I mean, okay, so hold up. The answer is that there will be a student mentor system that will allow players to create and join a school of combat. So are they saying that a mentor can have more than one student? So maybe you can be rolling around with 5 or maybe 6 people following you around, learning from you, and you're teaching them your movesets. Because if that's the case, man, I can see people obviously joking around, getting people to call them senpai, sensei. Oh my god. Anyways, it'll be pretty cool if it's actually the way that they're kind of describing it with their questions. So yeah. The next question is, how extensively are you planning to support balance this game post-release? Simple answer: extensively. What does extensively mean? It depends on how you want to interpret it. Like for me, I guess it would mean that every 2 weeks we'll get a patch update to fix and fine-tune certain areas. Other people can interpret this as a month. Every month a new update. I don't know. Extensively should mean more, so I'm going with the 2 weeks thing. Anyways, yeah. And next question is that there's a lot of questions, by the way. Next question is that how do you plan to deal with potential cheaters in your game? Do you have any anti-cheat set in place? Sorry. The answer to that is we are looking into a variety of anti-cheat solutions to avoid that issue. Cheaters can never be avoided, and cheaters can easily break the game. I mean, think about it. You're putting 20 hours, 200 hours into a game, and you have someone who's popping in with some fucking immortal shit, like he's coming in like a god or something like that, and he's wrecking everyone. ruining your experience and ruining the entire ecosystem of the game. Most people will probably drop the game completely. Like, I've done it several times. I've dropped it sometimes, you know, with I'm gonna go with Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2 since that's the recent one I've played. You know, when you know that you're going up against cheaters, putting in effort is just not worth it. So they'll have to really try and be aggressive as possible with the anti-cheat stuff and just punish people. Like, a direct super ban is what we needed. Like, do something like what Overwatch is doing. Like, they're banning people and they're not giving them a chance to come back anytime soon, because it'll scare people away from cheating and stuff like that. Next question is that will there be taunts I can spam after defeating an opponent to show how silly I am? I wouldn't say silly, I would say a boss, but whatever. And the answer is emotes have so much potential, so they've pretty much confirmed that there's going to be emotes. Listen, if there's no teabag emotes in this, then it's like, man, really? I don't know. But anyways, it'd be funny if they had a teabag emote, or maybe even a fucking dab emote, so after you beat your opponent, you just dab on them fools. Like, it'd be pretty dope. Anyways, next question. Does this game have esport potential? The simple answer is it could, but it's up to the community to decide, which is kind of true. Like, every esport game needs a community. Oh, sorry, no. Every game became esport thanks to the community. Look at Melee. Melee is the best example out there. Melee, Brawl, and Super Smash Wii U, they were never meant to be esports. It's the community who kept pushing it, who kept refining it, who kept the game alive to this point, and that's why it became esports. So if we do the same with Absolver, and obviously we direct the developers as to what they'll need to fix and all that stuff, that will be what makes Absolver, you know, esports. Now the next question is the question we all want to know. We all want to know the answer to this, and that is, when will the beta start? And the answer is soon and TM. Now my lingo is not really up there, so I don't know what TM means. TM could mean tomorrow. TM could mean I don't know what TM means. Let me know in the comment section below what TM actually means. Next question is something I kind of touched on a little bit, is that plans for a Nintendo Switch port, Xbox One, and the answer to that is the Xbox One port will begin after initial release. Additional platforms are to be confirmed. Now, Xbox One is kind of guaranteed, because you know it's a huge market to kind of miss, and the Nintendo Switch, I feel like, can handle Absolver, you know, especially, yeah, I feel like it could handle Absolver, but it might not be coming out on the same year as the Xbox One, you know, and obviously PC and PS4. They'll probably need to take some time and learn the architecture for the Nintendo Switch, but it'd be pretty dope to have a handheld Absolver to take with you and walk around. But yeah, whatever. I'm sick, by the way, so I do apologize for that. Next question is prospect Absolver differentiation. I can't believe I almost fucked that up. I think I did still, but anyways, the answer to that is yup. Prospects who were able to become Absolvers will be able to show it. Okay. Okay. So yeah, I've always thought about that, you know, like, because the whole goal of this game is to go from a prospect to an Absolver, and I feel like, yeah, you know, it'd be pretty dope to show people that yes, I have become an Absolver. Like, how would you show the difference? So yeah, at least we know that there is some way of showing the difference. Next question is, roughly how many friendly players or players you've brought in on purpose can you have at the same time in your game? So basically they're asking is, how many friends can you bring in? So each area can hold up to 3 players, be it friends you invited or people you don't know. Multiplayer games are 3v3 maximum. So I don't know, so let's say for example I'm at the beginning stage, so at all times I'll only be able to run into 3 players at once. That seems weird. I don't know. I mean, like, they did say that you wouldn't be able to tell the difference between NPC and a human, but 3. I was expecting maybe 10, 5, maybe. Actually no, it makes sense actually. Because if you have more than 3 people running around in your game or you're playing single player, it will kind of destroy the emotion that they're trying to create. You know how? Think about it this way. If Johnny had, let's say, 10 people running around in one zone at a time, it would destroy the kind of emotion that Johnny was kind of trying to create. So that kind of makes sense. I'll give them this. It kind of makes sense. How many developers are there on the team? Answer to this is 24. How long has Absolver been in development? They started in 2015 with Absolver's pre-production, and then production began at 2016. Will Absolver support player mods? Not at this stage, so when the game comes out there won't be any ability to mod using Steam Workshop, but maybe later on down the line, once they see that the game's kind of activity is starting to decline, maybe, I'm guessing, they'll start to allow Workshop to be available so that activity will spike right back up. I don't know, I'm guessing. What is the current plan for introducing new moves into the game? For example, will players be given them or will NPCs be added that have them? And they're still working on this, so my guess is that when they try to kind of add a new moveset, you'll either have to do a quest to get them, and while you're doing the quest you'll probably be ending up encountering NPCs who have pieces of those fine moves, and you have to beat them all to completely get the move in its entirety. Or you probably just have to find the NPC somewhere in the dungeon, beat the shit out of it, and then get the moves. Oh no, sorry, not beat the shit out of it, you have to get your ass kicked to get the move. So yeah. Next question is, how many different styles of martial arts are being used, and are we going to have to use real money to buy future martial art moves if we want a certain style? Answer to this is, we use a broad inspiration from martial arts to define what we call combat style. Combat styles are linked with Absolver's world and culture, so they are not styles of martial arts per se, but more like how people from this world would fight depending on where they come from and their culture. So for my interpretation from this, they're kind of saying that they're taking inspirations from certain fighting styles and they're kind of mixing it up with other fighting styles to create a unique sense for these characters that you're going to be running up to when you're playing the story. So let's say you go into a desert area, you'll find people who fight in a certain way thanks to the conditions that they're in, or and if you're going into someone who is kind of occupying a Greenland or something like that, they'll fight in a certain different way. So kind of like the Avatar, Earthbenders have their own fighting style, Airbenders have their own fire style, you get the idea. Next question is there any form of limit to how long you can continuously attack without the chain of attacks being broken by some sort of hit cap, or is the only escape from a combo a parry, dodge, evade, or some other input? And the simple answer is stamina management is an important part of the gameplay. So basically, you can't do infinite amount of combos and get away with it. You have to manage your stamina, because if you exhaust your stamina, you will be left wide open. Alright, so the next question pretty much just reads, will there be collectibles to find throughout the world? And the answer is yes, you will be able to collect stuff. So we don't know what it's going to be. It could be maybe pieces of an artwork, it could be pieces of a journal, it could be something to get you to achieve, let's say, a trophy or an achievement, depending on what platform you play. So yeah. Next question is, will players start with different techniques and have to learn the rest from other players, or does everyone start with the same pool of skills? Now the answer to that is, you can learn new attacks from both NPCs and players. This doesn't really answer the question, because the question was, like, let's say for example I created a female fighter who specializes in parry, and someone else creates, let's say, another female character, but they specialize in, you know, absorption. Will we both have the same combat style, or will they be different depending on which type of evasive move that you choose from? So that's what the question is. So it doesn't really answer the question, so I'm pretty sure that they were trying to avoid this, but my guess is that everyone will start kind of like, maybe if they want to do this, everyone will probably start with a little bit of a different style of fighting, so that you'll be able to experience the whole learning combat system. But my guess is that most people will probably end up starting with the same fighting style just to keep things fair, because you could end up finding someone who has a fighting style that's so fucking high up there that you just can't beat them. But obviously, if they're kicking your ass, you will end up learning that moveset. So yeah, next question. Do you plan on adding single player features? The answer to that is the game can be played single player, although we recommend getting online to have the full Absolver experience. So basically, if you're playing this on the PS4, you probably wanna have PlayStation Plus available so you can experience it to its absolute max. Obviously, if you're playing it on PC, that's something that you don't have to worry about, because probably most likely you will end up be playing it on online anyway. So yeah. And the last, there's actually a few more. Will you add paywall, for example, membership, exclusive gear and stuff? Now, the game won't be free to play. All players who buy the game will have access to all the content. So, you know, it's not going to be a subscription based game. It's going to be a full set price game where you can actually buy the game and get everything that you are supposed to get. So yeah. Will we see streamed dev tournament at some point? Yes, they like to do that. They kind of mentioned this in the previous stream, that they were going to do a tournament to showcase some high level gameplay, so look forward to that. And will there be an ad book and or soundtrack to purchase along with the game? And they're saying it might be. I'm pretty sure they're gonna do it if there's an opportunity to make money out of it. Let's face it, people like stuff like that. Art books and soundtracks are pretty cool, so I don't see them not doing it. So yeah, that's all the questions that was available from this FAQ. Once again, thank you to FTE Oxidize for doing this. I didn't expect this video to be this long, but it ended up being this long. So yeah, also I should have mentioned this at the beginning of the video, but there's going to be a new video from Absolver coming out soon. It's going to be showcasing some of the combat styles that's going to be coming into the game, so keep an eye out on that. But anyways, hope this video has been informative. If it has, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to my channel for more Absolver stuff, and obviously other content in the future. I'm Extreme Sonic, and I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.